The sun was beating down on Willow Creek that May afternoon, warm and golden, the kind of day that begged for ice cream. I adjusted my tie, checked my watch 3:15 p.m. and smiled. Perfect timing. My son, Liam, had just finished school, and I ducked out of the office early to surprise him. His teacher, Mrs. Carter, had called me the day before, gushing about his 96 Fantram on his math test, the highest in his class. At 7, Liam was all skinny legs and big grins, and I knew we had to celebrate. When Liam spotted me by the school gate instead of his usual after-school counselor, his face lit up like a firework. "Dad!" he shouted, his oversized backpack bouncing as he ran to me. I scooped him up, spinning him around, his laughter echoing across the playground. "How's it feel to be the math king of 2nd grade?" I asked, setting him down. "Awesome," he beamed, flashing the gap where his front tooth used to be. "Did Mom tell you about my test?" "Oh, she did," I said, taking his hand. "And I'm thinking we need a special treat to celebrate." I was in my Navy Tom Ford suit, not my usual school pickup gear, but I had a big meeting with investors at 4:30. My firm, Carter Wealth Management, was my pride and joy, built from scratch with my partner, Mike. Today's pitch could land our biggest client yet, but some moments trump even the biggest deals. "Ice cream," Liam guessed, bouncing on his toes. "You read my mind." I winked. "I heard Mr. Jenkins' truck is on Maple Street about now." Sure enough, as we turned the corner, the familiar jingle of turkey in the straw floated through the air. Mr. Jenkins' white and blue truck was parked under a huge oak, a small line of kids and parents already forming. "Pick whatever you want," I told Liam as we joined the queue. "Math champs get VIP treatment." While we waited, I texted my wife, Nia, letting her know I'd drop Liam off soon. She replied with heart emojis and "so proud of our boy." Nia was working from home, tweaking designs for her interior decorating business. Mr. Jenkins, a kind old man who'd been scooping cones for decades, gave Liam a high five when I mentioned his math score. "That calls for something extra," he said, eyes twinkling. "How about a rocket pop with sprinkles on the house?" Liam looked at me, and I nodded. "Say thank you." "Thank you, Mr. Jenkins," Liam said, clutching his red, white, and blue popsicle, now topped with rainbow sprinkles. "And for Dad?" Mr. Jenkins asked. "Just a vanilla cone," I said, pulling out my wallet. Simple and classic. As Mr. Jenkins handed me my cone, I felt someone hovering way too close behind me, their breath practically on my neck. I stepped forward, figuring they were just impatient. "Excuse me," a sharp voice snapped. I turned slightly to see a woman in her late 40s, blonde hair yanked into a tight ponytail, designer sunglasses perched on her head. She wore a crisp white blouse and high-waisted jeans, radiating entitlement. Next to her was a chubby boy, maybe 10, with the same blonde hair, his Superman t-shirt stretched tight. "We're in a hurry," she said, her foot tapping like a metronome. "Almost done," I said politely, handing Mr. Jenkins a 20. "Keep the change." He smiled warmly, and Liam and I moved to a nearby bench to enjoy our treats. "Daddy, if I get another A, can I get that new Roblox Lego set?" Liam asked, his face smeared with blue and red from the popsicle. I chuckled, grabbing a napkin. "We'll talk about your bonus plan at home, businessman." Liam started to ask what a bonus was, but a shrill voice cut him off. "Excuse me." It was the blonde woman, now looming over us, her son trailing behind with a scowl. Her arms were crossed, chin tilted up, eyes narrowed, a look I'd seen too many times in my 15 years climbing the corporate ladder. Trouble was brewing. "Yes," I said calmly, resting a hand on Liam's shoulder. "I couldn't help but notice you were very generous with the ice cream man," she said, her voice syrupy but her eyes cold. "My poor Ethan here has been so good today, and he really wants a mega chocolate supreme." She gestured to her son, who stared at his sneakers, cheeks red with embarrassment. I felt a twinge of pity for the kid. This wasn't his fault. "The line's moving fast," I said, nodding toward the truck, where only a couple of people waited. "Mr. Jenkins will hook you up." Her lips tightened. "Well, here's the thing. I forgot my purse at home. Silly me. And Ethan's been so looking forward to this." I blinked, stunned. Was this stranger really asking me to buy her kid ice cream? I can spot you a few bucks if you're in a pinch. I offered, though her Rolex and perfect manicure screamed anything but broke. Oh, that's so sweet, she cooed, then lowered her voice. You people are always so helpful when given the chance to serve. My body stiffened. Excuse me? What do you mean by you people? I asked, keeping my tone even. She waved a hand. Oh, you know. Anyway, Ethan wants the Mega Chocolate Supreme. It's $15.99. Liam looked up, confused. I gave his shoulder a reassuring squeeze. I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable spending $16 on ice cream for a stranger, I said firmly. I can lend you $5 for a regular cone. Her fake smile vanished. Are you serious? Do you know who I am? Afraid not, I said, staying cool despite the heat rising in my chest. I'm Linda Carver, and my husband is Stephen Carver, president of the Willow Creek HOA, she declared as if I should bow. Congrats, I said flatly. I still won't buy your son a $16 sundae. Now, if you'll excuse us. This is outrageous. Linda's voice shot up, drawing stares. I've seen you around in your fancy suits, driving that shiny car. You've got money. Is $16 too much for a kid's happiness? Liam pressed closer to me, his joy fading. Mrs. Carver, I said, standing to my full 6 feet 2 inches, my finances are none of your business, and my suit doesn't mean I owe you anything. Leave us alone. Her eyes narrowed. You're not from Willow Creek, are you? Who are you? And what are you doing in our neighborhood? The implication hit like a slap. My blood boiled. I'm Marcus Reynolds. I live on Cedar Lane with my wife and son. We've been here 3 years. I didn't mention our sprawling 5-bedroom home, renovated top to bottom. She didn't deserve to know. Cedar Lane, she scoffed. Those new houses. Figures. Mom, let's go. Ethan muttered, tugging her sleeve. I don't want ice cream. But Linda was on a roll. No, Ethan, you deserve that ice cream. This man can afford it. The crowd grew, onlookers whispering. Mrs. Carver, I said, my voice low and steady. I'm taking my son and Leah vying. You should do the same. As I guided Liam up, his melting popsicle dripping, Linda stepped into our path. How dare you walk away from me, she shrieked. My husband will make you regret this. Are you threatening me? I asked, incredulous. Over ice cream? I'm informing you of consequences, she sneered. People like you need to learn respect. People like me, I repeated, jaw tight. Think carefully about your next words. She leaned in, voice of venomous whisper. You know what I mean. Nice suit, nice house, but you don't belong here. That's when Liam started crying, his sobs slicing through me. I knelt down, turning my back on Linda. Hey, buddy, it's okay, I whispered, wiping his tears. Some people are just mean. This isn't about you. Why is she so mad? He asked, voice trembling. Is it because of us? My heart shattered. No kid should feel this way. No, Liam, I said firmly. She's vying a bad day and making bad choices. We don't let that ruin our celebration. Are you ignoring me? Linda demanded, looming over us. This conversation's over, I said, standing and taking Liam's sticky hand. No, it isn't, she snapped. Ethan, tell him what you want. Ethan mumbled the Mega Chocolate Supreme, eyes on the ground. And who's buying it? Linda prompted. Mom, please, Ethan begged. Can we go? Not until he does what's right, she hissed. Mrs. Carver, I said, patience fraying. You're upsetting both our kids. Stop this. Don't you dare tell me about my child, she spat. Sir, Mr. Jenkins called from his truck. Everything okay? We're Leah vying. I called back. Oh, no you don't. Linda blocked us again. Buy my son that ice cream, or I'm calling the cops. Or what? I challenged. I'll tell them a suspicious man is harassing us, she said, pulling out her iPhone. You're calling the police because I won't buy ice cream? I said loudly for the crowd to hear. I feel threatened, she countered, finger over her phone. A large man intimidating me and my child. How do you think that'll look? The threat was clear. She was banking on stereotypes to paint me as dangerous. I took a deep breath, focusing on Liam. We're walking around this lady and going home, okay? Liam nodded, gripping my hand. But Linda moved to block us again. I'm not letting you go. An elderly man stepped forward. Ma'am, let them be. Stay out of this, she snapped. Last chance, she told me, finger on her phone. Do what you gotta do, I said, meeting her gaze. With a huff, she dialed 911, her voice shaking with fake fear. Help! There's a man at Maple Park intimidating me and my son. He's aggressive and I don't feel safe. She paused, then added, he's a large black man in a suit. He seems agitated. My blood ran cold. This wasn't about ice cream, Anna Maria, it was about power. Mrs. Carver, I said loudly, you're lying. I've been trying to leave, and you're blocking us. He's shouting now, she told the dispatcher, smirking as she hung up. Police are coming. Better rethink your attitude. What's going to happen, Daddy? Liam asked, scared. Nothing bad, I said, though my stomach churned. We'll tell the truth. Minutes later, a cruiser pulled up, lights flashing. 2 officers stepped out, a middle-aged white man, Officer Hayes, and a younger black woman, Officer Brooks. They scanned the scene. Linda, arms crossed triumphantly. Ethan, miserable. Me, holding Liam's hand, and a small crowd watching. Afternoon, folks, Hayes said. We got a call about a disturbance. Everyone okay? Linda rushed forward, face crumpling. Officers, thank God. This man's been harassing us, refusing to let us leave. Hayes looked at me. Sir, I took a breath, staying calm. Officers, I was buying my son ice cream to celebrate his math test when this woman demanded I buy her son a Do La 16 sundae. I said no, and she got hostile, made racist comments, blocked our path, and called you, claiming I'm threatening her. Linda gasped. That's a lie. I asked for a small favor, and he got aggressive. Officer Brooks glanced at the crowd. Anyone see what happened? An older woman stepped up. I saw it all. He's telling the truth. She's been harassing him and his boy for 15 minutes because he wouldn't buy her kid ice cream. She said he doesn't belong here. A teenage girl nodded. She was the one being mean. Linda's face turned red. That's not true. I'd never say that. Ma'am, Brooks said. Multiple witnesses back his story. Did you call 911 because he wouldn't buy ice cream? I felt threatened. Linda insisted. Look at him. I stood still, face neutral, knowing any hint of anger could be twisted against me. I don't see aggression here, Hayes said. I see a dad and his kid trying to enjoy their day. He threatened me. Linda cried. He said he'd make me sorry. Not true, I said quietly. I just asked to be left alone. Brooks knelt to Liam. Hey, buddy, I'm Officer Brooks. What's your name? Liam Reynolds, he whispered. What happened? Liam looked at me, and I nodded. I got an A on my math test, and Daddy got me ice cream. Then that lady yelled because Daddy wouldn't buy her boy ice cream. She said mean things and made me cry. Brooks stood, exchanging a look with Hayes. Mrs. Carver, Hayes said, misusing 911 is serious. We expect real emergencies, not ice cream disputes. This was an emergency. Linda snapped. I felt unsafe. Mom, stop, Ethan said, voice cracking. You're lying. You always do this, make people buy me stuff, then get mad when they say no. I hate it. Linda's jaw dropped. Ethan, be quiet. No, he shouted. It's embarrassing. Brooks stepped in. Mrs. Carver, lower your voice. I checked my watch, 3:52 p.m. My meeting was looming. Officers, I have a work meeting. Can we wrap this up? My son and I just want to leave. Hayes nodded. Mr. Reynolds, you're free to go. Sorry for the trouble. What? Linda sputtered. You're letting him walk? Mrs. Carver, Brooks said, based on witnesses and your son, you made a false report. That's a misdemeanor. I did not. Linda protested. ID, please, Brooks said firmly. As Linda fumbled for her ID, Hayes turned to me. You want to press charges for harassment? I looked at Liam, exhausted, and Ethan, mortified. No, I said. I just want to get my son home. We walked to the car. Liam's celebration ruined. I'm sorry, buddy, I said, buckling him in. It's okay, Dad, he said, wise beyond his years. She was just mean. Not your fault. I smiled, amazed at his strength. I'm still proud of your test. How about we celebrate this weekend at that water park you love? His eyes lit up. Really? Can Noah come? We'll ask his parents, I promised, DRIVYing off as Linda argued with the officers in my rear EW mirror. I made it to Carter Wealth Management just in time, dropping Liam off with Nia and GIVYing her a quick rundown. She was Lee VYD, but I promised I'd handle it. At the office, my assistant, Chris, greeted me. The Stonehill team's in the conference room. I straightened my tie, checked my reflection composed. Never let them see you sweat. The meeting went smoothly until the lead client introduced himself. Stephen Carver, CEO of Stonehill Properties. My stomach dropped. Linda's husband? The HOA president? Is something wrong, Mr. Reynolds? Stephen asked, noticing my pause. Your name sounds familiar, I said, shaking his hand. Could this be a coincidence? I launched into my pitch, mind racing. Stephen was sharp, professional, nothing like the bully Linda implied. During a break, he praised our bold strategies. Most firms play it safe, he said. You're different. We spot opportunities others miss, I replied. After the pitch, Stephen stayed behind. I was skeptical, but you've won me over. I think Stonehill could thrive with you. I hesitated. Mr. Carver, before we proceed, do you live in Willow Creek? He looked surprised. Yes, 12 years. What? Are you married to Linda Carver? His face tightened. Yes. Have you met her? We had an encounter today at Maple Park, I said. She demanded I buy your son an expensive ice cream. When I refused, she made racist remarks, blocked my path, and called the police, claiming I threatened her. Stephen's face paled. He pinched his nose, sighing. Marcus, I'm so sorry. This isn't the first time. Linda's difficult. We've been in counseling, but it's getting worse, especially for Ethan. I nodded, cautious. What she did wasn't just rude, it was dangerous. She scared my son and ruined his celebration. Stephen looked pained. I get it if you don't want to work with us. But I swear, this isn't who I am. I studied him. I judge people by their actions, not their spouses. I'll work with Stonehill, but I need assurances this won't happen again. First, Linda owes my son an apology. Second, as HOA president, I'd like you to push for a diversity workshop. Third, Ethan could use positive role models. I coach Liam's basketball team. Maybe he'd like to join. Stephen looked relieved. Done. And thank you for GIVYing Ethan a chance. We shook hands, a deal sealed amid chaos. Days later, Stephen texted, asking to bring Linda and Ethan to our house. Nia was skeptical. You sure you want her here? If it helps Liam, it's worth a shot, I said. At 11 a.m., they arrived. Stephen was in khakis, Linda subdued, clutching a gift bag. Ethan stared at his shoes. Thank you for seeing us, Stephen said. In the Lee VYing room, Nia and Liam waited, Nia's gaze icy. Linda cleared her throat. Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds, Liam, I'm sorry for my behavior or. It was disrespectful and racist. There's no excuse. She handed Liam the gift card to his favorite arcade and a Lego set. Thank you, Liam said politely. Nia spoke up, voice firm. Linda, do you get why this was so harmful? You called the police on my husband for saying no. Do you know how dangerous that could have been? Linda shifted. I wasn't thinking. I was mad. That's not enough, Nia pressed. Black men have died for less. You use your PRIVY leg to put Marcus at risk. Linda's eyes dropped. You're right. It was wrong. I've started counseling to work on my issues. She turned to Liam. I'm so sorry I ruined your day. Liam tilted his head. My dad says when people mess up, what matters is if they learn. Linda blinked, surprised. Your dad's smart. The smartest, Liam said, easing the tension. Stephen nudged Ethan. Liam's a math whiz. Maybe you two could study together. After basketball, Ethan asked shyly, I want to join the team. The boys started chatting, and we adults moved to the kitchen. Stephen shared plans for the HOA workshop and a police report noting Linda's false claim. Stonehill's also MOVYing accounts to your firm, he added. Nia asked Linda point blank. Why did you think you could demand ice cream? Was it because Marcus is black? Linda hesitated. I didn't think it consciously, but I wouldn't have approached a white man like that. I saw him as someone who should do what I wanted. Her honesty stunned me. Recognizing that as a start, Nia said. 3 months later, I was coaching basketball, whistle around my neck, watching Liam and Ethan run drills. Ethan had transformed slimmer, confident, a real teammate. Stephen cheered from the bleachers, Linda occasionally showing up, still awkward but trying. The HOA workshop had sparked real change, and a scholarship program for kids from nearby neighborhoods was greenlit. Stonehill's portfolio was thriving, with more clients eyeing our firm. One evening, as Liam and Ethan played VY Deo games after pizza night, I got an email. I'd been nominated for the HOA board. Nia grinned. From ice cream drama to HOA? That's a twist. Change starts from within, I said, watching the boys laugh. That ugly day at the ice cream truck had birthed something: sweet friendships, community growth, and a lesson for Liam. Dignity beats prejudice. Linda was in therapy, facing her biases. Whether she'd change was anyone's guess, but the hope was there. Who wants ice cream? I called, grabbing a carton from the freezer. The boys' cheers filled the house, a reminder that some things kids' joy, their forgiveness never fade. What do you think? Was Marcus too lenient by not pressing charges? Should he have trusted Stevens so quickly? Could Linda's apology be trusted, or was it just damage control? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if this story got you fired up, and subscribe for more real-life drama.